We believe that the country is on the wrong track. We think the country's headed in the wrong direction, and we have an obligation here in the People's House to do the people's business, to give this country a better way forward, to give this country an alternative.
Congressman Paul Ryan offering his comments following his nomination as Speaker designate by the House Republican Conference. Of course, Paul was the favorite for this position to succeed John Boehner, despite some serious concerns from certain conservatives, including yours truly. The newly designated Speaker candidate will face the entire House tomorrow for the formal vote, and that's basically a formality. To go more in depth on this, let's turn to our political panel. Joining us via Skype from Boulder, Colorado, the news director for the Tea Party News Network, Scottie Nell Hughes. And from Newsmax, New York, noted radio and TV commentator Ellis Henican. So Scottie Nell, Paul Ryan is going to be the next speaker. Are conservatives just losing out to the establishment in every way, shape, fashion, and form?
Well, it would look that way, but to be honest with you, JD, I don't think that it has been signed, sealed, and delivered yet. Now, granted, it does look like Paul Ryan will get the vote, but you have to realize 200 GOPers voted for him, 43 did not. He needs to have 214 or 218 to actually be elected tomorrow. So what we're going to see in the next 24 hours is some whipping. Either they're going to whip some Republicans, or maybe there's an idea that he might have to cross over and get some Democrats. But he will not be elected based on just the votes alone within the Republican caucus today. He's going to have to, he still has some winning over to do in the next few hours.
A friendly amendment to your evaluation. As a recovering member of Congress, a whole lot of members of the Freedom Caucus who voted for Dan Webster today will vote for Paul Ryan tomorrow. But Ellis Henican, since Nancy Pelosi had nice things to say and amnesty advocate Luis Gutierrez had nice things to say, do you think Paul's going to get some Democratic votes tomorrow?
Well, I promise you none of it's sincere, all those nice things you can hear. So don't you worry too much about that. Listen, what I think is happening right now is there's this intense inner dialogue, right? The inside Paul Ryan's head, right? Right on one shoulder, he's got the good angel saying, do the right thing, govern for the people, get stuff accomplished. On the other shoulder, he's got the voice of that devil saying, no, don't do anything. Just cause gridlock, oppose everything the president wants, whether it's a good idea or not. And I don't think we know yet, guys, which Paul Ryan is the one that's going to be the speaker. I'm not even sure he knows yet.
Of course,
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, because I think we do know who the Paul Ryan is. He's the one that's been able to make this deal. Listen, if people would have told us that we were going to get rid of John Boehner in order to get Paul Ryan, I think we would have thought twice the last 2-3 years of fighting John Boehner. I think we know exactly what we're getting with Paul Ryan, and he's coming at it with conditions on his terms, not necessarily on the actual House members' terms. So we know we're going to get we're going to get the same old that we've had, just a continuation, a younger version of the Boehner policies.
Well, more consternation on Capitol Hill, this time from the upper house. Some constituents back in Florida giving Marco Rubio grief. The editorial board of the Florida paper, the Sun-Sentinel, writing an op-ed urging Senator Rubio to resign. They cite sources that say Rubio hates his job, he isn't doing it, missing almost 60 votes since announcing for president. What about this editorial? Scottie, does this newspaper have a point? Should he give up the Senate seat right now?
Well, I don't know if he should give it up, but it does have a point. You have to wonder. And because he's not the only senator on the campaign trail, the others have a much better record than Senator Rubio does. So this is a very, very harsh term, especially when he's sitting there and he's basically told people he doesn't like being a senator, which is it's a slap in the face of those people that have elected him. So I don't know if, he's not going to step down. That would be a very dramatic, but I think he is going to have to address this issue and give some reason why he has missed so many votes, besides the fact that he's running for the White House.
Well, we should note for the record, Ellis, before you jump on Marco with great glee, that back in 2008, you had Senator Obama and Senator Clinton and even Senator John Edwards, who are missing a whole lot of votes in the U.S. Senate, and I don't recall newspapers going after them. Final 30 seconds to you, sir.
Well, it's a really strange way to run for president. And JD would be like, you inviting me to come here and talk to you, and then I sat down in the chair, I put on all this beautiful makeup and hairspray, and then I refused to flap my tongue and say a word. It's like, don't run for the office unless you want to do it. I guess what, we should assume that once you get elected president, after a year or two, he's going to say, oh, this is just too hard dealing with Congress and people write me nasty letters and those interviewers ask me hard questions. It's just odd, and I think it's a sign of his inexperience as a real grown-up politician.
And one
other
note,
would it be different if he was number one? That's my question. If he was number one in the polls, would we justify him missing votes? But he's 3, 4, and 5. I don't think that justifies his absence.
All right, fair enough. We will have to leave it there. Scottie Nell Hughes in Colorado, Ellis Henican from Newsmax, New York. You have our thanks. You've probably heard about the shocking new book, Unlikable, The Problem with Hillary by Edward Klein. Unlikable has already skyrocketed to the top of the bestseller lists. It's probably the most powerful expose on Hillary ever written. The author, Edward Klein, wrote the #1 New York Times bestsellers, The Amateur and Blood Feud. Now in Unlikable, Klein offers a stunning, powerful expose of Hillary Clinton and her floundering race for the White House. With unprecedented access, Klein meticulously recreates conversations and details of Hillary Clinton's behind-the-scenes plotting. Klein also reveals the angry rivalry between Hillary and Barack Obama. Now, Unlikable retails for $29.95, but you can get it with our free offer. So, get this almost $30 value today. Just go online or call the toll-free number on your screen. With the 2016 election fast approaching, you need to get Unlikable and be armed with the truth about Hillary. Check out our incredible offer right now.